we open our hearts and we open our minds to that one presence, one power that we live and move and have our being in. And being one with the one, being one with all of life, we are connected to all of the wisdom, to all of the joy, of all of the love and all of the peace, whatever it is that we feel a need for, it is there. It is within each and every one of us. So we just take a moment right now to just be fully open, fully responsive to that inner wisdom that is within each of us. And in that inner wisdom, we just feel a sense of gratitude right now. Gratitude for our loving community here. Gratitude for the riches of spirit that we are so blessed with. So we just let those blessings in. We open our hearts and minds. And we allow ourselves to just think of one thing right now that you are truly, truly grateful for. And so bring that to your mind right now. And to whoever that person or thing is, just say thank you. And allow yourself to feel the gratitude. Allow yourself to feel the love. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to introduce our prayer chaplain for the day, Susan Fabro. Thank you for, she's waving her hand. She'll be providing some prayer service upstairs in the prayer room, and she's available after the service today.
And we do have a wonderful prayer team that is always holding your prayers in their prayers. We have a prayer box up here that you can write down any prayer requests that you might have, and our prayer team will be given the names, whether it be for yourself or for someone else, and we will pray with you for whatever you would like prayer for. And so please feel free to drop your prayer request in our little prayer box up here.
And I'd like to remind people that we have our 24/7 prayer support through Silent Unity. And as you can see at the bottom, there's a telephone number that you can contact. It's 1-800-NOW-PRAY.
So now it's time for us to sing a little bit. So I invite you to stand up. And Mike, and what do we have today?
We're bringing back an old one here, a fun song, I Can Do Anything.
Okay.
I can do anything I make up my mind to do. I've got a thing inside that I was designed to do, and nothing can hold me back if I don't want it to, 'cause I can do anything I make up my mind to do. 'Cause if I can think, then I can dream, and what I can dream, I can believe, and when I believe, then I will see. I can do anything, anything. I can be anyone that I decide to be. I have a great big dream growing inside of me, and no one can bring me down, 'cause I know what's right for me. I can be anyone that I decide to be, 'cause if I can think, then I can dream, and what I can dream, I can believe, and when I believe, then I will see. I can do anything, anything. I can do anything I make up my mind to do. I've got a thing inside that I was designed to do, and nothing can hold me back if I don't want it to, 'cause I can do anything I make up my mind to do. I can do anything I make up my mind to do. Hey, thank
All
you,
right,
everyone.
thank you. And we'll slow it down with I Am That I Am.
I am that I am has sent me to this now moment. Here I am that I am has sent me to this now moment. Here I am to be the voice and to be the heart through which heaven is made known on earth. To be the voice and to be the heart through which heaven is made known on earth. I am that I am has sent me to this now moment. Here I am that I am has sent me to this now moment. Here I am to be the voice and to be the heart through which heaven is made known on earth. To be the voice and to be the heart through which heaven is made known on earth. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor is a progressive spiritual community that emphasizes personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. As part of the New Thought and worldwide unity movement, we strive to be compassionate, inclusive, open-minded, service-oriented, abundant, and spirit-filled.
And unity teaches that each person is a unique individual expression of God. Our realization of that truth evolves as we expand in consciousness through prayer and meditation. So unity emphasizes that we create our experiences of life according to the thoughts and the feelings that we hold in our minds. An affirmative prayer is that highest form of creative thought, while meditation stills our minds and heightens our awareness of our oneness with spirit, with each other, and with all of life. Living from that awareness transforms our lives and our world.
Our affirmation for September is, I let go and let divine life fulfill itself in and through me. Could you say that with me, please?
I let go and let divine life fulfill itself in and through me. And now we have some special music. Jessica, Mike?
If home is really where And home must be a place we all can share. For even with our differences, our hearts are much the same. For where love is, we come together there. Wherever there is laughter ringing, someone smiling, someone dreaming, we can live together there. Love will be our home. Wherever there are children singing, where a tender heart is beating, we can live together there. Love will be our home. With love, our hearts can be a family, and hope can bring this family face to face. And though we may be far apart, our hearts can be as one when love brings us together in one place. Wherever there is laughter ringing, someone smiling, someone dreaming, we can live together there. Love will be our home. Where there are words of kindness spoken, where a vow is never broken, we can live together there. Love will be our home. 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 Oh, love will be our home. Wherever there is laughter ringing, someone smiling, someone dreaming, we can live together there. Love will be our home. Thank you.
Oh, that was lovely. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you, Michael. Well, again, welcome everyone. So glad to see all of you. You know, I enjoy always opening with a joke if I have one readily at hand, and sometimes I just don't. But there was this man, he was a guest of honor at this really nice country club, and he had been asked to speak. So he was getting ready to give his talk, and his wife, who was on the opposite end of the table, passed him a note, and it said KISS. And the lady next to the speaker looked over and says, "Oh, isn't that sweet? Your wife sent you a kiss before you began your talk. She must really love you." And he looked at her and he said, "You really don't understand my wife. KISS stands for keep it short, stupid." So I'm going to try to keep it short today. So we are doing an exploration of Dr. Wayne Dyer's book, Your Sacred Self, Making the Decision to Be Free. And for Dyer, we're on a sacred journey to awaken us to the truth of who we are and to live from that truth. Many of you may not know, I think I mentioned it before, but Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer, was born in Detroit. And he taught for almost 40 years. He first coming from the perspective of a psychologist, which he was, but he grew into a phenomenal spiritual teacher, becoming one of the most popular teachers in the mind, body, spirit genre. And he wrote over 30 books, many of them which were bestsellers. Dyer was a student, or became sometime in his life, he became a student of A Course in Miracles. And A Course in Miracles really influenced him just a whole lot. And another person that was highly influenced by A Course in Miracles was Marianne Williamson. She's the one that wrote A Return to Love, which is a reflection on the principles of A Course in Miracles. And I was also highly influenced by A Course in Miracles. When I discovered Unity in 1984, they had a Course in Miracles group that met every Monday night, and I started attending the Monday night group. So like I said, I discovered Unity in 1984. A Course in Miracles books actually, it's a series of books. They came out in 1976. And it's a self-study curriculum which claims to assist readers in achieving spiritual transformation. And the underlying premise of the work is the teaching that the greatest miracle that one may achieve in one's life is the act of simply gaining a full awareness of love's presence in one's life. The simple act of gaining a full awareness of love's presence in one's own life. You know, I still remember to this day how much, when I first started reading the very first page of A Course in Miracles, the introduction, I remember reading that and it resonated, it shook me. And the first page starts this way: "This course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is our natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way: nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God." When I first read this, it was a point in my life that I felt totally overwhelmed by what life was presenting me. My relationship of 12 years was coming apart, and my business was facing bankruptcy. Anxiety was tying my stomach in knots. Our lives in moments like these can be very painful, and our minds begin to automatically search for things that can make it feel better or change the situation. Some try to numb themselves, the pain, with drugs, with alcohol, with sex. Some do it by gambling. Some people by just going out and spending a lot of money. Just something to numb, take their minds off the pain. But what I learned in Unity and from A Course in Miracles is that I was looking in the wrong place, looking in the wrong direction. The love we want, the peace we want, and the answers we want lie within us. Anything outside of us is subject to change. Events are always in a state of flux. One day everything is running smoothly, and the next day everything is just going to hell in a handbasket. And one day you feel like you're on top of it, and another day you feel like you're an utter failure. These changes in life are always going to happen. They are part of the human condition. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can choose how we will perceive those experiences. And the shift in perception is the meaning of miracles, according to A Course in Miracles. In her book, A Return to Love, Marianne Williamson says we need to start taking love seriously and let it transform us. In Unity, our third basic principle is that we create our experiences by the activity of our thinking and our feeling. And everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. And A Course in Miracles is totally in alignment with our third principle. And it describes itself, like I say, as a mind training system to help us relinquish a false thought system based on fear and replacing it with a thought system based on love, which in truth is what we are. With age comes many life experiences and opportunities to learn and grow, both mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I certainly don't pretend that I always achieve a loving perspective on every situation in my own life, at least not immediately. But one thing I'm very clear about, however, is that when I do, life works beautifully. And when I don't, things just stay stuck. So if we continually remind ourselves that God is love, then to surrender means to surrender to love. As Marianne Book says in her book, by affirming that love is our priority in a situation, we actualize the power of God. This is not a metaphor, she says. We literally use our minds to co-create with God. We become the love of God in expression. So through a mental decision, a conscious recognition of love's importance, and our willingness to experience it, we call on a higher power. We set aside our normal mental habits, habitual patterns, and allow them to be superseded by a different, gentler mode of perception. That is what it means to let a greater power, a power greater than we are, direct our lives. So once we get to the point where we realize that God is love, it's not too difficult to understand that following God, it just means following the dictates of love. We become the love of God in expression. The hurdle we have to face next is the question whether or not love is such a wise thing to follow. The question is no longer what is God, the question we now ask is what is love? And love is an energy. It's not something we can perceive with our physical senses perhaps, but people can usually tell you when they feel it and when they don't. So many people today do not feel enough love in their lives. The world for them has become rather a loveless place. Even we can hardly imagine a world in which all of us were in love all the time with everyone. Love taken seriously is a radical outlook, a major departure from the psychological orientation that rules the world today. And so just imagine if we surrendered to love, there would be no war. No one would fight. There would be no hunger because we would feed each other. There would be no environmental breakdown because we would love ourselves and our children and our planet too much to destroy it. So there would be no prejudice. There'd be no oppression or violence of any kind. With love, there would only be peace. In her book, Marianne says, most of us are violent people, not necessarily physically, but emotionally. We have been brought up in a world that does not put love first. And where love is absent, fear sets in. Fear is to love as darkness is to light. It's a terrible absence of what we need in order to survive. Fear is the root of all evil. It's the problem with the world. And when infants aren't held, we know that they become autistic and they even die if they don't receive the love that they need when they're being nurtured as a child, or the lack of nurturance can cause all sorts of problems. It's accepted that children need love, but at what age are the rest of us supposed to stop needing it? We never do. We need love in order to live happily as much as we need oxygen in order to live at all. And it's not that mysterious, really. Without love, the world is simply not a great place to be in. So the problem with the world is that we have strayed from God, is one way to put it, but actually we have wandered from love. The world is simply not a great place when we wander from love. According to A Course in Miracles, this separation from God, from love, happened millions of years ago. But the important revelation, the crux of the Course, is that in reality it never actually happened at all. A Course in Miracles says that only love is real. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. And when we're not thinking with love, since only love is real, then we're actually not thinking at all. We're hallucinating. And that's what this world is, a mass hallucination, where fear seems more real than love. Fear is an illusion. Our craziness, paranoia, anxiety, and trauma are literally all imagined. And that is not to say they don't exist for us as human beings. Our thoughts create our experiences. Any thoughts of fear and lack of love need to be brought to light in order to be released and replaced by love. But our fears do not replace the love within us. That love is eternal. They merely cast a dark shadow over the truth of who we are. Any thoughts that are fear-based are literally a bad dream. And it is through the mind that has been split in two, with one part staying in touch with love and the other part veering into fear. Marianne says, fear manufactures a kind of parallel universe where the unreal seems real and the real unreal. And of course, in miracles, sin is defined as a loveless perception. The way out of sin or fear is through opening the mind to love and allowing ourselves to be the love of God in expression. Love casts out fear the way light casts out darkness. And the shift from fear to love is a miracle in itself. It doesn't fix things on the earthly plane. It addresses the real source of our problems, which is always on the level of consciousness. Thoughts like data programmed into a computer registered on the screen of your life. If you don't like what you see on the screen, there's no point going and trying to erase it off the screen. Thought is cause, experience is effect. And if you don't like the effects in your life, you have to change the nature of your thinking. Love in your mind produces love in your life. And this is the meaning of heaven. Fear in your mind produces fear in your life. And that's the meaning of hell. Our worldly problems actually are just symptoms of a real problem, which is always a lack of love. The miracle, a shift from fear to love, it works on an invisible plane. The miracle, it transformed the world. It transformed the world at a causal level. Anything else is just a temporary palliative, a fix, but not a healing. A treatment of the symptoms, but not a cure. And of course, in miracles we read, when we say, God, please help me, means God, correct my thinking. Deliver me from hell means deliver me from my insane thoughts. God, Spirit, being itself will not violate the law of cause and effect. It is the most basic law of consciousness and was set up for our protection. As long as we follow the golden rule, we are safe. And according to the story in Genesis, Adam and Eve were happy until they ate of the knowledge of good and evil. What that means is that Everything was perfect until they began to judge, when they began to keep their heart open sometimes, but closed at others. I love you if you do this, but not if you do that. Closing our hearts destroys our peace. It's alien to our real nature. It warps us and turns us into a people that we are not meant to be. So Sigmund Freud defined neurosis as a separation from self. And so it is. The real self is the love within us. Love is the child of God. The fearful self is an imposter. The return to love is the great cosmic drama, the personal journey from pretense to our true self, from pain to inner peace. And it is the beautiful journey we will all find ourselves on when we wake up to the truth of who we are. Last Sunday, Mariette Jones, our licensed unity teacher, gave a talk, and I appreciate that she gave us a talk last week. And she was talking, her talk title was Love Yourself. And this quote from John came to mind when I was listening to her. Not John the Apostle, but John Lennon. I think I've probably given you this one before. This is a John Lennon quote. He says, "There are two basic motivating forces, fear and love. When we are afraid, we pull back from life. When we are in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. We need to learn to love ourselves first," which was the message of Mariette's message last week. We need to learn to love ourselves first in all our glory and our imperfections. If we cannot love ourselves, we cannot fully open to our ability to love others or our potential to create. Evolution and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life. I love that quote. So before I close with the meditation, I want to say a little bit about agape love. You know, we say, I love you, to our wife. We say, I love you to our dog. We say, I love ice cream. I mean, we use the word love for, all sorts of things. And so we here just have like one word that we use all the time for love. But the Greeks, they have 8 different words for love. And so one of them, the highest word, highest form of love in the Greek language is agape or agapao. And that's the word that is used over 200 times in the New Testament alone. That's the main word, agape, in the New Testament. This is when Jesus said to love the Lord your God with all your heart and your body and your mind and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. That was the word that was translated into Greek, agape. And the Apostle John said, God is love. So also the Apostle John said there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love. And really this word agape is that perfect love. Agape is unconcerned with the self and concerned with the greatest good of another. Agape love is universal, it's unconditional, it's empathetic, it's a selfless love. And this is at the heart of Jesus' entire message, agape. This kind of love also appears in other religious traditions, such as the idea of metta, which is translated as universal loving kindness in the Theravada Buddhism. But at the root of agape, it means wide open, in a state of wonder. Wide open. This wide open, unconditional agape love is at the heart of Jesus' message. And just as a closing thought, I mean, haven't you all heard about, saying like, oh, my heart was just so full it could burst. We have, when we feel love, we feel it. And sometimes it just really is so, it's almost like a pressure. So agape is just wide open. So I'm going to suggest that the next time you feel that love just swelling up in your heart, you just open it up. Let it flow out to everyone that you're around. That's what the world needs, my friend. It needs our love. It needs us being the love of God in expression. So let's go ahead and sing a little song, and I'm going to invite you to prepare for a meditation. So just relax, and we're going to sing a little just to start. Okay?
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
So I do invite you, my friends, to just open your hearts right now to the realization that there is indeed only love. That our source is love, and that we are floating, moving, and having our being in that love. Love is what makes the world go round. Without love, there would be no reason to truly live. So let's open our hearts and minds to that love as we sit here and just allow our minds to be still. And allow our bodies to be still. We focus our thoughts upon our heart. And we allow that heart to just feel the presence of Spirit. Feel the presence of love. So we're going to take a moment and just rest here. Rest in this silence, in this present moment, in this love. As we remain with our hearts open, the presence of Spirit to the presence of love, we realize We are surrounded in pure love. We understand that we are the love of God in expression. Love is one of those things that the more you give, the more it increases. So don't be stingy with your love. Let that love that Jesus spoke about, that wide open love, be your expression this coming week. Feel it in your heart. Feel it just growing and growing. And as you feel that love, allow it to spread out to all of those around you. So let's sing that song. Sing it a couple of times. You could just sing it with me.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. And indeed, don't forget, you are all, each and every one of you, such beautiful lights of love. And that's our job, to be that light, to be that love in the world. So thank you for being just that. So grateful to have you here and to be part of this spiritual community.
I don't know about you, but my heart is full. Thank you for that very timely message. And just, for me, when I experience so much love and my heart's so full, I just want to cry. So thank you, because tears are very cleansing. So I hope everybody is really experiencing that love in whatever form that you experience it. Thank you, Reverend David.
Sure.
And thank you for your beautiful song, There's Only Love. And again, thank you, Michael, again, for your music. So appreciate and feel that. Thank you.
So at this time, we do want to take to heart our vision, mission, and statement of being, which is shown on the screen.
Okay, our vision. We have a global vision. Will you please speak it with me? Our vision is
a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And we have a sacred mission. Will you say it with me? We inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world.
And we also have a statement of being. Will you please say that with me? I am
a dynamic center of the Christ life, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all.
So we have a few announcements we'd like to let you know about. Please consider joining us for the second part of the series, Strengthen Your Spiritual Muscle. And that is presented by Mariette Jones today after the service from 12:15 to 2:15. And we will focus on putting our faith into action, putting Unity's fifth principle into practice. I hope to see you there. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
and as
doing that.
part of that building your spiritual muscle, I'm going to be doing in Mariette's place next week. I'm going to be doing a little workshop on the Enneagram. It's the wisdom of the Enneagram and introduction. And so the Enneagram is a spiritual tool that offers insights into 9 different personality types. And in a way, it's a window into why people do what they do. It explains how different people see the world in different ways. It describes the lenses by which they look out at the world. And it allows us to understand where people are coming from. And it's also just a great way to become more self-aware and self-understanding of ourselves. It's a great spiritual tool. And I'm going to be doing an introduction next Sunday at 12:15 to 2:15. So I do invite you. And I'd like to know how many is going to come so I can have handouts. And there is a sign-up sheet upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah. And FYI, just for your information, I'm also going to be doing this at the Unity. I'm going to be doing a couple of workshops at the Unity conference that's coming up in Nanaimo. And that's coming up October the 7th. And actually, Mariette and I will both be going to Nanaimo. And I'll be doing the workshops on the Enneagram as part of that. So that's another reason I want to do it. I just want to sort of, get back into it. I've taught these classes for some time now, and I think it's time to bring them back out, and I would love to see you there.
There will be a celebration of life for our beloved member, Carol Holt, who made her transition earlier this year. Carol was a longtime member of Unity and a valued member of our music team. The celebration will be on Saturday, September 24th, here in the chapel at 2 p.m.
That's this coming Saturday. And also, you are welcome to come and meet the animals at the Dara Sanctuary. It's going to be October the 2nd. That's not this week, this coming Sunday, but the following. And it's going to be from 1 to 4, so we'll be heading out over there after the service. So the founders, their family, and the volunteers will be present around the sanctuary to welcome you and answer any questions that you may have. And there's no charge for the tour, but they do gladly appreciate donations. 100% of the proceeds goes to the food and the housing and the comfort and the veterinary care of all of the animals that they have rescued. And so we'll be leaving here about 12:30 on October the 2nd. And if you're interested in more information, please get a hold of Maria. She's right back here. She'll have be able to answer any of your other questions. So.
Join us following service on Sunday, October 16th, as we celebrate a day of gratitude. That kind of lines up with our Canadian Thanksgiving, too. Mm-hmm. The social committee will be providing the entree and welcomes everyone to bring a favorite dish or dessert to share.
Also, on this coming Sunday, we will have Dr. Reverend Hasselback. He will be presenting a pre-recorded talk, but we'll all be here. And his talk title is User-Friendly Metaphysics, Does God Use Us? It's meant to be a very interesting conversation. So, yeah. Also, I want to remind you that our prayer chaplain, Susan Fabro, is here. She will be upstairs in the prayer chapel up there if you would like someone to pray with you. And so she is available.
Please join us for fellowship and conversation after the service today in our fellowship hall upstairs. And all of our classes, programs, and services are made possible by your generous donations. Our heartfelt thanks goes out to each and every one of you who continues supporting us in this way. We've created many easy ways to donate, which you can find on our website.
And also, we do have a love offering box right up there at the front, and if you would like to drop off a love offering or donation, that's the place to put it. And we are, again, you make this happen, and you are much appreciated. Thank you so much.
We invite you now to stand up and let's open our hearts. I don't think that's going to be a problem now. And minds in gratitude as we close by speaking out loud or silently to ourselves the love offering prayer, followed by the peace song and our closing song with the prayer of protection. It's not a song, but closing with our prayer of protection.
Divine love in me and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Please stand and sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
I am light.
The love of God enfolds us,
I am love.
and the power of God protects us.
I am power.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am presence.
Wherever we are, God is.
I am divine.
And you are indeed. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being
Have a
here.
great day.
And join us upstairs. And sign up.